if you board of trustees so abayamu mpenimfo ne abayamu communicators oh moboa utabo adechi ye dane na adechi ne sorry ye kwhwa websites na board of trustees ni goes no utabo picture if you so ye twetwe won komo say ya confirm say utabo pastor mensa utabo if you board so na ye bisa say what could account for his reason to leave the board of trustees. If there are issues there, what are the other pastors on the board doing? Yebepe and one semaka and pay on the morning show. Tuesday and also Islamic SHS and work massive shootings be alcohol in Dra Clement and any active bites or show how police in some parts of the world handle crowd control any their Ghana police for Wahano. What is the problem or what is wrong with the Ghana police service when it comes to crowd control? We'll be looking at that issue on the morning show this morning. Ivan Everett Komo. We'll be joining discussion via WhatsApp line 0503-236-735 0503-236-735. Ivan, good morning.
Good morning, Minia.
Apologise.
Oh, Nyamiado.
Achepa. I think for the past 3 weeks now, we've not met. Okay. Quickly, I shall protect the public purse. President inaugural speech during his first term. Is he protecting the national purse?
Oh, that's a person I hear.
Clarence was saying, I'm producer person share and I do mutu, but you see person card I
person I hear protected the head now. Me say Ghana for sometimes we are funny. We are referring to a president. So has Amra Galam say a year here why I will chroma say na. Just say oh yeah na who kwan for so be stop the Galam say. Into your cassette. So kasi achi excavators mane rai. Enti wantimi am excavator ho ban. Enti or make address kasi say achi excavator na yanhye no. And it was a clear admission say president enti protect excavator enti yanhye na yanhye no say kusi ho a amanfo be wia. And I think said from Pom Watten incident and we see no issue no clearly actually say about 500 excavators yachi edi asi ho no amanfo excavator na ebi mo ton na ebi no mo yera. The president said the tinti o the tieti o free na ko watch excavator mun twa jan to mention no na obi a excavator kakraka we kuro ntimi mbo ho ban no public person wetimi abo ho ban the person dey ayira o need that so and the
okay yanko yensemu and anope national cathedral in Sensem in fact information I tell say about mama say government say was suspended construction for now. But then the question we are asking is, why is government wasting so much money when it comes to the National Cathedral? At a time, especially they are not going to use the state's resources to do this project. But Sika, public person, Ako project eseweni ense okache na otable if board no so Bibisa Ivan say what do you think has accounted for Utable's decision to go off the board?
I think say the dikama mencha what here for na menka say we say we are say nipa bia ni ho abetena se yemfa nanim ntwetwe form because I will hear niama akoso okroma in the last 1 month. Some shocking revelations about Bontia. I'm very much convinced as of for no a bit more tenacia who say I bind almost a Ghanians. Because you see, in their individual lives, Obiti said Duncan Williams, Mensa Otabel, and as a forum over the years, or more to me establish or more church within or more your friend saying, maybe or more, they've been able to establish some kind of reputation for themselves over the years. I think that to a certain extent that a lot of people are more okay with things that they do. So if you are able to assemble all these individuals, this is a vision as a president, also put it forward. And in realizing that particular vision, one for mind seeker now what they na mom wan kasa no wo set up this board of trustees or kwa bontin soliciting funds any individuals or more ready so be sika be donate no yemfa that particular project enti akwa kodru ba bia na ekodu say amamfo tete board no so board of trustees na say for but beneath them no the states the president na fully in charge and then the finance minister and the omonsa ko bo man sika mpum in the name of cathedral na samra yete over 200 million and akwako urade ewem and very interestingly sika na yese de ye cathedral and sika no nko because we dim say company na oil construction no a lay off the workers because sika as omonsa be kan won be ye adwuma no say sika no omonsa nka. And then the question you ask yourself, say, so over 200 million na ya fasa ya de ya cathedral and say sika na he na ekoe. Enti sabi, we obi a wo ye osofo na wo ni o reputation ehiawo. Na sa wo he kwan a nema ya faso eko na definitely say enye obi na betu fo say wa ankasa otu hofo. Because I say ya de watarade na nim and behind the scenes na manfo ye de omo ye. Nti eba modumonim na ekwakoje, especially when there has been your friends a public declaration by some of these individuals. Okay, Duncan William at some point in time, Kasatia Ghana for say Ghana for Kasado na sense of the spirit, people don't understand. You see, these are individuals are using God, and sometimes when they speak, it's so disgusting. I seem to say they own God and they have some special relationship with God. Nipana yakano. Yeah, we are so inferior. Reference we are. And he told us point blank, say, cathedral na yesi no, and your mind sika and a yedisi. Namum omo. At some point, you who omo nama bluchire a war most could cause risk the buy. So at this point, I told you say, Omam Penny, the finance minister, I don't want to bomb my sika and finance minister has publicly admitted that you have 4 months and a mum and no and I had a sabaya betimi your spiritual food not a for on my way jokers so now on my sick and I have yes and do your software over the years Okasetia Ghana for who be a catcher say ye nim de ye keka na ye kasakwa name rantia yaba ya not that big na ye kasakwa na sika no mo ye no enye oman sika and at this point I bet you say oman sika over 200 million parliamentary approval kwa ye nsanka president na da sorry na waka the finance minister ne de nsa bo oman sika ni consolidated fund wintimi mfa won sankotum abra your friends at parliament and I have approval. But we behind the scenes, Sanya man no more. And this uncle I'm expecting just resignation. They own Ghanians an apology. Because omu deceive and someone no more can defending government here the young far buying sick and as for has proven out to be nothing but big lies and no more country. But
also argument said this eminent pastor some war bodies, just like the ordinary Ghanaians, just like the rest of us, they were misled.
And now, software when you do say now a congregation as for who lead now you walk into something a windy moon now baba bonte be different. It means I want kasano a hand koye. And Edia obidi we are fununtin na wudi achire because for eminent personalities of their stature. Nasa abanka say may enlist them into a board of trustees na monye way na details na se for nyina na ye miema nkyeremo na I could do middle baby na bind the mobile public na behind the scenes in oh yeah it means I want a decision na mo ye na mo anwe ho na mo ye so I think that nobody can run away. They are solely responsible for everything that is happening. But I'm saying, says Otabala resign at this point, that alone is not enough. They have to render apology to Ghanaians because when we started a year, come once them no, and say Ghana for him the year can ya kasakeke na yanko for mine sika. So at this point, Abbas yedi or mine sika. No we nipa na principles as an individual. I think some more render public apology. Now running away from the board, Obianya where there. Cecilia and recently grand amount for speculating by a confirm who say call on the website or more in Fruanka as a sumasana what general board no so. But these are people who made public declarations supporting, canvassing, supporting as a phone for all this in Ababedru. Unfortunately, Romansi Kakwa could mawie. And they will resign or you see can but these are people who deceived Ghanaian because you see, these individuals because of followership as a phone or more Obiwaha on buy into some of these things. But who Duncan Williams, or who your friends are Mensa Otabel, or who other a soft one penny so I didn't want. They will lend credibility and some credence to the project and they will support what I say. So you could do me the Webinars saying that here. I think hey. And they should render Ghanaians and a big and qualified apology to Ghanaians. And Nipa as a can render that apology to Ghanaians. Your friend said Duncan Williams, because he was all over the place insulting Ghanaians. Say you can't about a cathedral 7 as a phone. To be able to do an PSA or no one casa against his own ways or mind sick no. And there been a seminar more country. I think say or one casa show more corner. Ferry debu or more Nipa ferry woman when you saw my ferry ankasa. And it's not enough. They should come back and apologize to Ghana, because you see, yakase project na nkasa me maka time and time say a project enyansa bia anim say we call for my sika at this particular point in time when the economy is crashing right in front of us. Ayati has a quite recent survey say in the next 5 years, open mind back on betting default or more debt service and that's for Ghana. And some of these things you expect a reasonable finance minister to come out with measures a bit me up put to the economy on a certain trajectory. There will be hope, say, you default, not bossing baby, ben I boarding in Anna, you bet me. At me overcoming the challenges. Sure. And as I see, I'm not debt to your GDP in terms of production. And as for Adibia and Koso Kromati, who is thinking for us to ensure, say, going forward, these are the quiet first. I didn't near me, Kwemu, debate me as economy, and the economy about on track. But the person who is supposed to lead the economy, and now he's out there canvassing for the building of a cathedral, knowing very well that building a cathedral will add nothing, no value to the economy of this particular country. And we see cathedral anywhere, it will not change anything. And look at the cost. Yes, I impose here. Cathedral na yes, you know. A buying down yes, see our cantonment. A buying bungalows. A yet a mine sick and see a man. Your face judges and as a form. Ya dia ni mo kubuogu sa edan na yekubugu ye no nkwa ye hinafa nketimisi cathedral yakobuogu na yasan yakota mo man sika na de yesa na ma we nyina. When the core responsibility of government to ensure that the economy of this particular country no ebetimi agina ma enyuma ba ma mrante anya biaye. And now you see countries have gone to the extent of investing in cultural artificial intelligence, the technologies in the near my man for airport into it. And if you go to your first medical sciences, a lot of your friends innovations are coming up. Countries are positioning themselves or make me your friends are resourceful for the world that is emerging, because world not a dimrike. So when near Chilibia, sure. So countries are making advances. They are positioning themselves almost a bit to me. I get it or more your friends say or more dear from the world that emerging. But what are we doing? Says third century mentality na in a cathedral na yesi aso na yakobo mpaya manyankopon na se for no sane man wo de di wanim kansa wo checho maya unko wanim da.
Government communicators so say tourism benefits. I mean, yet one of them, although he's not part of government, but Gabi Ochedakon was saying, "Say, oh no, why are the calculations now? Government, Ghana will
don't waste your time. These guys are jokers. You see, I don't know, are blowing their faces, and they're just trying to find a way to rationalize this whole thing. Say, cathedral no, your friends say economic returns. I even be a free man. Na say a time of money sika. Do you think the cathedral will never acquire investment? I didn't think that sika na dey kosi cathedral no. Yam far and go into other areas. I don't know. You know say these are viable ventures. I see the $200 million ko shema. At the end of the day, you know the returns. You know, there we will not have to struggle. Do you think that Ghana be see cathedral? I will come and say, I'm a man for Buchira. I say, I'm Ghana cathedral. Cote d'Ivoire haya. I say, you be Yamosokro. Almost, I think it's the largest basilica in West Africa. I don't know, I may be wrong. Yes, see ho. Go and look at this state. President to be by another mine sika kusi see ho. Go and look at the state of that particular basilica. Go and accept in terms of your friends tourism. No, how many people go to that particular place? You see, other places are making a lot from these things now. And yet, and nice kind of moko fakusi here. Oko France, oko Barcelona kakaka na esi wa ekwaye movies ne na se for so one yesi design na esi won to say dan but ebedu ba bi na enne no omo hu say no, it cannot just be a church na mom ye open to your friends are tourists, sabi a man for bebaho, and people go from America, a movie, and a lot of things they get a lot of money. What I say, so that particular things, you know, and Spain, and as a church and a investment, they would rather go into other avenues. Betting a investment, readily available. But we are talking about economy that is crashing right in front of us, economy that is crumbling, economy just facing a possible debt distress. We are trying to find a way out. And your solution is a young time of when come from Kosi Cathedral. Now hoping say in the future no, people will go and use it as a tourist center. You see, people are not thinking right. And that is the problem we have with this particular country. You see, instead of us to invest in priorities, a bit who say, on mine your position, you know, oh baby, or mine or that you to a money, but doing the avenues, or high bit me, you know. We are not interested in that. Trivial way of thinking, a cathedral and a cathedral and a cathedral. I think that say a banyam some our chroma ya open my back almost some Ghana can home. And an individuals my catcher or be named other individuals or one person or most see churches I can see me who is it Pastor Chris or one other pastor be church I was see the whole city on its own. Then I saw ma and I see. So the end says so when Penicas or basic cathedral ma or your friend is saying young coupon. Now you're on one casa and a personal vision. I didn't want to see. And Ghana for now would be able to say at what point a Ghana for catcher say here cathedral. Discussion of course or him Sikana would be no bargaining ben a coso or parliament. So they are just doing everything just on a wayward or be wayward. Like a rogue government, or no free say he can just get away with anything.
But you know this, what is Parliament doing? Because if Parliament is the one that approves monies to be taken, or yes, now Parliament is not aware. Why is Parliament?
Yeah, that is the problem. You see, that is why I told you the last time. That Parliament has become one of the most ineffective arm of government. I was to say because you see, to sit there, who say almost say minister Namra. Parliament to answer questions as to how much state money is involved in all these things. So going forward, now I think your friend is saying the BCBI better, but I'm expecting something I am more fierce than what is going on because it's like we are just sitting aloof. MPs are just all over on TV complaining binding issue of my seeker. So telling us in the public when we have institutions and your friend is saying I'm running as a for her. So on my be anaso when panyin bi de nsa kɔbɔ man sikam na ɔda edi ni nsɛmhunu ni nneɛma mfaso ni so a mmara ne nhyehyɛ ɔ ha betimi ɛde what is going on. So I think the parliament should prove together and say it is more an effective arm that can help us handle some of these situations, especially at this time we have a hang parliament. You have side and side now. Your friends say equal. We expect Parliament this time will give government a run for their money at this particular time. Now, some of the things they got away with it in the past, and it is because at this time government any right ordinance for such huge sums of money without recourse to Parliament, without recourse to anybody. Or that's all I said, but that's all no mind will be at times and nobody can do a thing. What I say. So I think that we need to do a lot, especially Parliament. This particular process here must start is your Prime Minister so just to account or back then. Indeed, a prove Parliament is not. I think they should do a lot. Even you see, some of this impeachment, this thing that they do, sometimes you don't impeach a president because you think he will be successful. But attempting to impeach the president now, to a certain extent, will dent in the credibility and whole lot of stuff. You tell the world how incompetent and the extent you desire to push the person away because of a near or more year. Sometimes you don't just look at the prospect, say, hey, you don't have the numbers, it will not be successful, and for that matter, until you have to go ahead with it. Just to send a message to obviously at some point, this particular government, because of certain effort were made and remove, but he was saved by Onwankasa in Nkruvo. You see, just let us do something. Sabaya, people will take us for or won't take it as for granted. Because about free day, free pass, will be a there, so then they get away with it. Just sit down. What when your minister would know be just sit down and make a Yeah, the Ghana show Sassia say prioritizing Nema Ghana here at this crucial moment. Yeah, you will me ya and you must say and Krasuku Sama say Oko school field in a woman will be an so Mojai, your friend is saying Oko Accra and so talk and Ra and so told the whole day go to second member traffic all over the place. Just look at the challenges that are confronting this particular country at this crucial moment in time. Which reasonable person on his right senses at this particular point in time will look at all the priorities and says no. I did here, yes, yes, shame. I say, yeah, build the cathedral, and a cathedral, na ye, no, so you could go, and then you to go. Now you're quite see baby, I had your mind sick and they're quite see. What you watch, it means that people who are ruling this particular country are not thinking right. And it's the reason as a man son like and say, and yet church no mukosin no because fortunately a lot of Ghanaians are Christians, but you see. Say yam fire dwene yam fanim de ne yam fanyansa ansum nyame na ya dwene say we will just buy into any follies anybody throw out there or in the name of God. At the end of the day no ye bedi ye dokono kwa is the reason why enso to anipa wu your friends say nemo bi say wo kroma we sit and just as if nothing is going on. So I think we need to do a lot to change the situation.
Now let's stay a little bit longer with the cathedral. Ushe Sika Akoma where Parliament is not aware of the monies that were used. We share letters are APP. Now we share. Do you think say government? And I said your question is bono. Now only source of funding. Now Ghana say obe issue abanska.
President Akufo Addo, with all due respect, you see, on no kana sometimes asamna ya kakra manafun nipantu kanya debiem. Sometimes what wa de hano. Say nanin na ho say there be na ha no say there you because nema all ye nyina ya de a wotena na odwene ho sometimes who say okofa akra kusi Flagstaff House or say Jubilee House or on tena ho some of the decisions are all taken in nema all ye menye so say akra be say nema no but it's unfortunate a 78-year-old man who is among for believers he has been around for a very long time, over 30 good years since the start of this particular Fourth Republic. He has been around and he has been through at least he has been able to gather enormous experience and some kind of expertise. And by this time I'll be a president and he'll be able to drive us through by taking decisions out to me say decision I don't know if they didn't bet me above mine and move for the mine that chance ye. But Obi how was such enormous experience. Every day decision be obey take what in chance are crying not taking decision. It's worrisome. And it's heartbreaking. It's the reason why a lot of people who even voted for him at some point in time, at this particular point in time, do not express anger and frustration as to why he's doing the way I all call. Because you see, so what promises obey cathedral or government? There are several ways as a president you can finance it. Are you sure as a president Akufo Addo said Osika say ya launch ya set a bank account and na say for amount for your donation and na say for him. Are you not sure as or given a timer? Maybe after 1, 2, 3 years, na senka or you that why introduce that particular project and as such a initiative. Do you think say enka within 3 years time no onye sika obetim dey sika to do I say in a personal way and call the baye. You see, but there is no vision, nothing. And now what the catch Ghana for say a boss out the shade yankopon. And a personal was a Ghana for question yankopon bo. And whatever you have that particular engagement with God, no, let me business. And I don't even care. I don't want to talk about it. The matter to the ordinary person who went to the vote to say, yeah, talk about my Akufo Addo and they say, oh, Baba, we say from your friends and your production available. Our companies, industries will be available. You set it up. We are Ghana and you bet me a course or quack or Juma. But yet, you could near me because you want to baby, I say a factory. But since the government didn't be mind and the number of individuals are more this particular factory and how I may reduce the burden of unemployment to what percentage? When it comes to industrialization, your banners are also your factories and as well. What it means you are going to cut your friend saying, "Never we import into the country." Have we been able to cut our import? No. Rice, I had about kroma, even chicken, and kuko funu no almost about kroma. And now the ketwa when poultry industry say, "Oh, kroma in egu." So what I thought is he doing? School cry the basic idea at the heart of the nation, cry no. Look at the state of our schools. With this free SHS staff. Look at the staff state they're putting a school in with this school feeding program. Every day I have calls from your friends and teachers, secondary school teachers are complaining about the state or more kind of feeding and so forth. So as Obia, what gather experience over there, can't he be reasonable at least for once? Say at least I'm getting my priorities right, and some of these trivial things, you put you out. Let's say the president ain't getting the priorities right. What are tons of individuals, some with the PhD, those who are professors, council of state, and so forth, who is speaking wisdom to the president? So there is no reasonable person around who will speak wisdom to the old man and tell him, say, hey, man, you are tripping off. At this particular point in time, we are telling you the truth that it is time. Nobody is speaking wisdom to the president. So tons of people are more trying to hear ministers, council of state. Billions, they are more as Gracia. Because they are interested in the money. They don't care about what the government does. Whether say, oh yeah, the papa na say, oh yeah, the papa. They don't care. We have tons of people around the president, and every day we are greeted with episodes of silly decisions all over. Priorities of the ordinary Ghanaian. You don't find any in some of the decisions that here come as finance minister who should be busily thinking about the state of this particular country, fixing the economy and taking decision initiative with me. I'm here putting the economy and sinking on the right tracker. Ghana Nibenya hope. He's out there advocating and campaigning for cathedral. Say no wajai or minor yebu no wajai ni buo. Say no or ambassador for where or na make can say Ghana for NC cathedral na abuane homa besi. I think that guy is going off. You see, they are just trying to baby or bedroom or more bedroom because of failure. Or more who said there is absolutely nothing that they can do.
Do you think that there's something
thinking
they can
has
do?
Stopped? Oh, they have demonstrated time and time. Say they don't have a clue. It's about just talking. They can't turn the situation around. So now they are changing the narrative to the religious realm. We say Ghana for no, we are so gullible to the stand. Say, Abra, we know be can't accept na yakoni nyame na sorry pe. Then people will obviously shy away. They will not talk about. They will not question. Obiuha. By principle, onim say cathedral na aban no sini yesika omudi sini nyina ya ade ayensem hunu, but because of say our religious connotation ya sorry ni nyame ntino, people are scared, they won't talk about it. So they are just cashing on the gullibility in the system. They know say that is the arena omokwa nyankopon behu say oh nyame somfo. So now the issue about governance, the issue about the economy, the issue about everything no nyina and you push it to the periphery. Now check the radio discussion, check television, check newspaper review. It is all about the cathedral. Who is talking about the economy crashing? Who is talking about unemployment? Who is talking about the fact that our schools are in such state? Who is talking about the fact that school feeding? Who is talking about those things? Now it is about cathedral. Into Okasati, I advocate say yam for my can see. Yanom da man for who you say yes so bon some there, but make. Say when Kwana Mecca Namaya Bonsama, no problem. I want to be that devil. We will understand because I think that I will never stick my neck for it. At this time, a man for housing deficit. A man for that one to go to circle and see. Nipo more that your friends say I don't know see and I say interchange housing deficit will cover and ne kromas away a branch and up as I hind Daya. Ubetimi aboa sika over 100 million ano
ebesa
wokọ akọ na yese yenye 1 year 2 years abranti wokọ handa we hear over 10,000 endi oneme nanu metese obi ka se ne sika waboa no for 2 years nyina no da kọ handa. So you come to ground zero. It means that your housing deficit as a sensible government, a reasonable government with an old man as a president who is supposed to be very sensible. No? You look at all these avenues. Housing is a problem. Accra is choked. Look at the traffic situation in Accra. Maybe I'm here 6 a.m. I almost arrived here late. 9 and sana me ba bedru ha say at some point can I say me sifa moto ne na se for no it just said the traffic situation in Accra is very bad. Who is that reasonable president who is thinking that okay, let us build railway inner city? Accra has a I'm connecting Tema to Kaswa I'm connecting Pokuasi to your friend is saying a circle no na se for them say those are call long distance in the morning no will pick train say yentimi from Accra to Kumasi kra inner city no and your mom walk car now park their cars and then they use the train to connect highway and no one walk short distance can use their car say traffic situation, but we don't think, we are not reasonable. We have a vice president who will come and tell you that we are talking about say traffic situation in Accra. And somebody was even suggesting, okay, let us give them a free pass. You have a certain vice president who will come and tell you, say, Okofaka be a friend of Kambu. Now I'm a charmer drivers instead of your friend saying moto. How reasonable can that particular person be? Because you see, the situation at Okada not buy it because of traffic. And look of us, I can book it and get the drivers. I can book it to be funny person. After two, it means that they will come and even choke the road more. There's a vice president thinking like a child. That is the problem. So you see, people who have placed at the various strategic positions to man the affairs of this particular country, you know, some of they don't even have a clue. And sometimes we the masses are so gullible to the sense that among for the job can't send then we fall head over heels because we are not reasonable. You understand? Because I remember some campaign, you see, a government made a promise, say, or could see hostels, I'm a Kyei for. When I heard that particular thing, I felt like this particular politics are in the future, and then do you know why people do Kyei? Kyei is as a result of a massive, staggering unemployment situation in the country, and people have migrated from the north and other places to Kumasi and Accra, and out of desperation, they are doing some of this hawking business. As a government, as a sensible government, your job is to ensure, say, you alleviate their pain by creating job opportunities. Maybe at the north, say, I'm for better now, no more, and now say sustainable job opportunities. Not those hawking now. Mammy, I want a bash and a cheap, or the abonting or supine, and also I'm for name. The government that is supposed to ensure, say, their pain will be subdued, you know. Or no catch also, or basic hostel, I'm more, them. Na Kyei sa akofin because de Kyei no betimi how can we be? These are the key issues. You can't want some bit baby or say oh and then manti amaba. We see we've been sitting here, we've been talking about them penifo in the last 60 to 10 and 65 years. We've gone nowhere. Consistently them penifo na no mu yeye or kwano wa ye will bafu no chairman ma do na so ma no mo do makogo bro the review school here me no na yete ha say it is our future that's at stake.
So we need to talk about it.
We need to talk about it. You see, ladies no mo ha no, their children are enjoying the American dream somewhere, but they are making Ghana a messy place, stealing everything to themselves and then willing the same thing to their kids. No more tell children no more benefiting. I Japan don't mention say no. Almost Sunday yeah well so they are benefiting there, they are benefiting here. The poor gullible masses and I so charged defending all the follies and the nonsense that these people do, all in the name of partisan politics. You know what is it that is in for us? What is it that is in for us? Nothing. No one say yeah over your foot soldiers are
okay.
That is the problem. So I think Babi Babedri, let us realize the need. Say, Yenina will be in time will be. It is about the destiny and the future of this particular country. How do we contribute in our individual ways? Say we reposition this particular country on a trajectory bit me aboya future. Oko other countries Oko China, nobody is building cathedral. Oko India, nobody is building cathedral. But you see, countries are doing their best to ensure say omunko for hobetom. And technology is the way to go. But then I say, among for your computer at the early stage, you introduce your to computer. Now a teacher for draw computer to board so, and then I had a chair. What I say? Nothing, absolutely nothing. What is the future for us? Because at the end of the day, we will be competing with the same kit across the globe because globalization has replaced domestication. So no country is in isolation, and I said no country is an island of your own. We are on the same market because we take a job on the internet. We have people applying from all parts of the world. But at the end of the day, it's the same work in a So it is how a bit me position in positioning ourselves, you know, government need to do a lot by laying the foundation. So by that particular competitive edge or be able to meet a baby. But if we stay consign ourselves to that primitive era, that 12th century mode of thinking, say nyame and I am umpire and a spiritual food. What kind of nonsense is this? Spiritual food are this technologically inclined world at this particular time where countries are advancing, people are going to the moon, people are inventing supercomputer, 5G and a whole lot of stuff, you know. Praying is the solution. Me say we all pray in our individual when they gather from our bed. We all have our personal relationship with God and stuff. But let us leave it at that particular level. Elevate our thinking to a level where we can say, okay, beyond God, no, what can we do to help ourselves? Because say Accra HOK, God will not come and fix Accra HOK. It's just about what we do to fix the situation. Can't we be sensible enough?
Sure.
And sadly for us, you know, people around the president is not thinking right. He's not being reasonable. People around him are not being reasonable. People we are paying so-called council of state, yet your money seeker are handful. Reasonable chiefs are more rising to various positions of prominence. When you expect them to look at the eyes of the president and tell him, hey, my friend, you are messing up. Just sit up. They are not doing it because at the end of the day, fat envelope. If we have more, your friend say, everybody has suddenly become a coward in this particular country. And you see, people who, if you don't have convictions, if you don't have morals, nobody will respect you.
Sure.
Me, I only respect people who are reasonable. I only respect people who are sensible. It doesn't matter whether you are a kid or whatever. So if you are grown and you have proven sufficiently that you are not sensible, you are not reasonable, you are not amenable to reasoning, common sense, wisdom, and you are not in touch with reality, and you are not in touch with humanity, because if you look at the suffering of the masses and the president, you are not in touch with Aberdeen Cathedral, it means that you are living in a different twisted world that why do you know baby and independence baby.
Okay, my main messages be about now yanko next to our topic for the day. Could you entry or say watching you live from Taiman? I slept early yesterday not to miss Ivan this morning. I am a fan of robbery movies and series. However, I don't watch them these days because events of Nanado's government is enough thriller. Thank you for your message. Could you entry? Let me read more messages here. The cathedral issue is to squander with the average Ghanaian tax. The government should be really ashamed of what they are doing. We are wise enough now. Thank you very much for your message. Good morning. I'm Wako from Kaswa. Our leaders know what to do to develop the country because they all own performing companies. They are just wicked people who want to suffer, the masses suffer. The problem is the citizens. The day the citizens become wise, politicians will change. How lucky are leaders that the citizens don't think out of Hitler? Okay, Adolfo Hitler. Okay, thank you for your message. Now, call your next topic for an Islamic shooting incident. I see, Kumasi, Ashanti region. Students were protesting over what they call speed ramps school. Okay, so this is a video of the command center. They were watching the incident, but I want us to go and listen to the commentary that came with this video. Producer Yanko Shembra, Ivan, now also Utina, what make your comments?
We are dirty. That's almost a problem. The crowd was so huge.
A man in Abakan, a man in my broken road, more broken road. Only can you really can you cook Romono?
And you are sitting on radio station asking whether these people were armed. You are on your radio station and you are asking whether these people proved threats. Anyway, you want to know whether he was a threat or not. someone who is armed, someone who is armed, you want to know whether he's a threat or not, and you are questioning what to radio stations so can't yourself.
These are small boys and girls.
Police.
You block the road totally.
Yentia Mikasa and I make that video. We are here to cover here. What to radio stations? So now,
Master Jai, who
now
you can't what they are doing is it good?
Now who instigated general public against the police? You think the police is not working? You think the police is not working? Look at these children who have been sent to go to school and learn. If you have any grievances,
Angela FM.
if you have any grievances as a student, you have to go on the road with arms. Go on the road with cutlasses, armed.
Look at someone. Look at someone with the cutlass.
The way you protest
as a student. Look at him.
Teachers, the one who instigating students, and they are protesting with arms.
Yeah, look at the one talking.
Go there, you are telling the
him.
police here, Uncle, now do you know the police officers who have been injured and sent to the police hospital? And you are there now. You can't pass yourself.
That one they are not talking about it.
Angela FM. Angela FM.
Look at the footage. Look at what is going.
Discussion, Islamic shooting, Islamic SHS shootings at cohort when the police tried to stop students of that particular school from demonstrating against a year road, just almost say road near down school anymore. Drivers were speeding up and it was killing a lot of people, so they were protesting for government to provide them with speed ramps, but then the police service ni edu hona omukose asemrekra, and this is a command center that was monitoring the event, and look at the commentary that were coming out, discussed things that were being said about the other religion, and these are the issues. Nyama we been see Rwanda inciting another group against another group, and it didn't say but look at what a police officer who is trained to maintain peace and order was saying. Ivan.
It's really interesting, and listening to the tape, Hi, you was somebody Paul. I have told you time and time, sir, Ghana is broken. All facets keep deteriorating. And until say you be at swiftly, now you tame the situation. Now you say there is a new wave, yes, you usher this particular country into. Now you go that particular direction a bit, me live here from all the things that we find ourselves in. I am telling you that this particular country will never prosper, and there is no God anywhere that is coming to save this particular country, because we will continue to perish and perish and perish. Now, we know how long we are saying this earth, and yes, we are spending over 4 billion years. That is according to archaeologists. And if we say and you think repeating all these things will save the situation, we are just joking. You see, Makase, we are never now crying. Only whole right say major road like this, we can blocking. It doesn't matter what has happened, and even where the constitution allows you say a demonstration and protestation as a form, because a public your friends saying. Public order now your person here demonstration and as for now, at least you engage the police to provide you whatever, because if the police will engage and provide or more whatever necessary security are required, a bianca man can block road to create tension in a whole lot of stuff. But you see, watching the video and the kind of demonstration now where the kind of response a police for them or more like you're killing an ant with a bulldozer. Who ant? Who entatia? Now so with the bulldozer and the bekuno. That is because the police response to the situation, anyway, and commiserating and answer disproportionate to Nemana Nankra no And I come back to tell you there, police for now come once and the biano, obi and time police bia. And let me also say that there are individuals fine professionals, police officers in uniform. They have been living a very diligent life or more or more country well. But for some time now, there are some individuals who are police in Numa. Because the Ayawaso West Wagon Commission gave us a lot of insight as to how some of these bandits got into the police, the police service. and these individuals give the police certain color and idea friend professionalism standard modern policing intellect, wisdom, reasoning, exercising positive discretion, and all these things are elements as a trained professional who here nowadays police these individuals on daily basis keep demonstrating that they don't have it. That is why I told you we have succeeded in putting some idiots in national uniform and we have given them guns. So their first reaction to situation, they feel that situation is friendly, a hostile reaction. So and then we have gun-toting hoodlums and a police uniform, and they turn themselves into a kill squad. Every situation train, and they get away with it. And I think that I can drive you through sequence of events in this particular country. Actually, clearly say police if work in the end now. Nothing, no investigation, nothing. We've never had a closure to any of these things. You say a particular police officer has been punished enough. Public.
With this recent one, you're interdicting the.
Oh, when I say interdiction, they almost say and after 3 months or 2 months, they will go back to their post and they will be working. At the end of the day, what they do, the reaction of police administration here, subsequent intervention or modern situation, is not deterring enough for any officer to do things to stay away from the things because do you expect them to be BCBM? Elections, you know who they see here. Because a BBM, a consistent streak because that has become a way of life. Yes, a culture. That is their culture. That has become a way of life for the police. Any least provocation, pull the trigger, just shoot. And that is the situation. That is why I was telling the last time, I was expecting the Dampare administration to at least toe a different line. That you see, the messy situation the police find itself in, any Dampare problem. But what are the ways I want to know the new channel of professionalism I will usher the police into are going forward no or more behavior quite for so you treaty crowd controlling as a phone different from what it used to be. But it looks as if a new crowd and paraba the situation now you're worse. Because any situation be a trained professionals because the police mona ya train minimum mona mo exercises the finance of discretion mona mo nim nyansa mona mo ya professionals ya train nipa na mo ko omo ho no de ye nyan train omo sabi omo nim nyansa nti mo na mo nim nyansa nti mo nko save the situation. The police will go there and prove to the people there say microphone mo hono kwa nim nyansa chem police for no mo kwa de mo there class they are say chain microphone mo no they go there and in a broad day they kill people just like that. Any least provocation go they just shoot people. I think I say give you enough insight this whole police thing now there is a major problem that we need to fix. You see, democracy is such that with the travel or time no event in circumstance over the years and the how to proceed the next stage. And our own experience over the last 1 year to 2 years should be enough to tell us your policy in quite fast your training or more manuals training your friends said protocols and as if I do your money I said yet review all of them mode of recruitment training. I have suggested in the past say obi a criminal obi a bandit no criminal ties now I join us over the 6 months. At training, I'm not a police. Now the tuition in summer, you are crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. So, in order to ensure everything what can't we open a new channel at least? So, I'm a nurse. I went to your friends a nursing training college. Maybe school make a top form and make call. So within a period of 3 years, they will just walk you through. So by the 3 years, clearly you see, other behavior we could there because of the long streak of training and as for no, they will be able to imbibe certain things in you. You look differently. What I say, and why can't we just open a new portal? Because of the experience in why can't we open a new channel? Okay, police in there. We are setting up training institutions. At police, and you have to go for 3 years active training. Not because yes, said among for the Muramuna, Yadomo Frumiana, yes, Sanisi form and as a form. Makacha said the modern policing doesn't work that way. Because among for more committed crime, you know, crime are rising to assuming a certain level of sophistication among for committing crime, you know, are committing it with intelligence, with finesse, and with some technological interface be around it. If you are not smart, that's the only way you can combat crime. What I say, and at this level, no, if you're able to open a new street like a 3-year training for police officers, at least we'll be able to train them cyber. They will know what to do, when how to combat some of this internet fraud and then as a form. Professional engagement, how to interact with people, like crowd controlling and so forth. We have enough time to train these people psychologically. We'll be able to train them because you see, psychic evaluation is one of the key things that elsewhere they do on occasionally just to understand the state of the police officer. Because obey police, no, onye hu say yakunipa da. Onshutu obi da. And for once onshutu obi no kunipa we anasa okoye operation bi we na. You are PTS, a post-traumatic stress disorder. I will go into that particular state now. Yourself again.
You think the police administration?
Oh, come on, psyche evaluation. I don't know, but maybe they may. But I'm saying, say, how standardized are those things? Because you see, they may be doing it, but the consistent streak and nullify everything that they do. What are some American? They may be doing it. They may be having all these things in place. They may be having counseling unit. Yes, I'm told they have a counseling unit. Everything that are in charge, but never nullify the essence of everything that they are doing. It means that it's ground zero. They need to start again. It is either they are not doing it well, or maybe it is not having any effect on the officers who get out there to operate the way their man or moye. And you know, with that particular long haul of training, you know, I think we'll be able to at least change people a bit. So that ethics and professional your friend say conduct, you know. You bet me show how many panabab he knows that me a police officer, police you know force to be and a service. It is that sometimes control do so we show no crack one wouldn't engage, just talk to them. It's enough to dispel a crowd, depending on how your friends say crowd and your host are. There are several ways, and crowd control you've seen elsewhere how people control crowd. Now cranking kitty a maya fee and a bomuti and cranking kitty way. Now the police responded to them na a tear gas. A life bullet and as a for no. It means we lack everything, and police administration should be ashamed of themselves. It's an unfortunate situation will come and Damparo will just go in there to do what.
But the commands when I share normally say they were armed.
Oh, you see, that is what I'm telling you. Say one thing about this modern so-called Damparo police in the name of Moye, it has a lack of candor, dishonesty on the part of the police. They lie. Even in official statement. And look at the number of students that will do demonstration. Trained police officers, even 5 police officers will be enough to subdue such a crowd. Sometimes you just even talk to them, you don't have to fire away. To the sense that you go there with live ammunition. And they are more like tin. No motor, tear and pass it out. It means they were firing your friends saying tear gas. And they suffocate you or more, and might be pass it out. That is the only way. And your pepper spray. When the pepper spray go be near, the person will not pass out. Because the person will suffer pain. In the man ADBR crack, so the person will never pass out. It means that tear gas. Go and look at the police statement about one thing, they never mentioned tear gas. There was a journalist on the ground who picked a live bullet, the shell from the ground. Police for true statement, none. And the actual woman. So if we get to a time in the face of lack of professionalism, your police need display, among sign cannot correct. They are dishonest freak and are writing lies to us. Because we saw in Kumasi when they went there and killed 7 Muslim guys.
And abandoned them as
armed robbers. Police folk who say there be young for 2 for a police officer to conceive such an idea, it means nobody is saving this particular country. They can kill you the next day, take your car and frame you as a armed robber. That is the level of dishonesty. And these are things I expected the IGP, who is a doctor, at least to bring some ingenuity, some wisdom to bear. But quite recently in Nkranza, Krana Yaku be a boys in protesting. The police went there again with live ammunition. They shot and killed another person. We saw in Algeria what happened. Techima in a broad day. So why can't we do anything about the situation? And we sit here and we pretend that nothing is wrong. We sit here and we complain about America, police brutalities, and so forth. To the extent that President Akufo Addo kwaje George Floyd a year by year Ghana has say, "Emma born sign and so forth." George Floyd no onim da. You could never Techima. Techima in the elections day, Bisanasa was setting up committees investigating Nipo Muwo Techima. How can we be so silly and so unreasonable like this? Young Kasa you go for whatever happened and Akra 18-year-old lady or Techima you born to Kuno. President feel regret about this. But George Floyd the year the Baha. How unreasonable, and you expect us to respect such characters? Come on, some of us don't have any business throwing away respect, because respect is very expensive. It's an expensive currency to be throwing out just like that. If before I respect you, show something, show cause. And son and nipa no utimi kwaje George Floyd a year ba ye kunipa ewo Techima, nothing has happened. And Algeria nipa na ye ku omo na ekokosi say we set up a committee but tenase be din sem hunu ke kan sem huna. In the end, you know, everybody got away. Same has Nkranzan there for some about 2 months in here, 1 month in here. What the issue has died out. They will go and give the mother money. We cover it. We sit here and we complain about America and and the government need to do something. There was a time our president issued a statement admonishing the US government to do a lot because brutalities are in your own country, a small country like Ghana, coming nowhere close to even one state in America. You can't even control it. And the police are on your friend is saying, have gone rogue on a killing spree, shooting people at any slightest provocation. Behind the police, if Okunipa shoot a banner issue, silly statement to cover it up, and then that ends it there. I think our police is in a such state of public confidence in it, you know, it's gone forever, and that alone is massive insecurity, lack of trust and confidence in the police. You know, and kasa pursue high level of insecurity to the ordinary person. Say Ghana ni any police ni onam consular police ni jinawa. Unim say comfort na jinawa na say nipa kind na jina, because we have succeeded in enlisting these criminals, bandits, hoodlums. Now there was a video on social media, police officer at the base you saw it, remember? And police officer assess we almost 80 parcels. Aguni car boot and or they can do konya accident. You see, I am not worried about individuals no more. Yes, I did. But my question is, how did they get into the police? Screening them and go through. Do we do? Your friend is saying background checks, because these individuals, nobody just wake up a day and suddenly becomes a criminal. It's a process, evolve. They started from somewhere. So if you take time to just investigate them, painstaking investigation about them, at least you will be able to uncover certain tendencies. Like, you know, when we say in the future, this person, the predisposition to be doing this is high. And these things may be an excuse to, you know, to just wave those individuals off. But then it's politics. Every MP the nebeba, minister the nebeba, we need the nebeba to add police in no, now protocol require 90%. The issues out there, they say, they don't even go for the training at all. Utifie, ukutia 100 million, then you go for your uniform. You see, these speculations may be false, but Nina go out to deepen the kind of misconception, the kind of impression, identity, public trust and confidence in the institution called police. Right. And overall, no, the outcome is what we see. The outcome is police officers meeting children like this and way. They meet them with brute force. We saw what happened in Ayawaso West Wagwana at the place in the turn into a war zone. Commissioner my insight to deal with the situation, and some of the testimonies are on the how those individuals got enlisted. Commissioner suggestion grant say yeah indicted among for no. Did the president he never badged. Individuals got away, nobody got punished. So that impunity fester on and there be a mechanism. Commission is a disconnected from the national security or few days after the commission's report, you know, they reactivated him. He became a mobile hooligan. A mobile hooligan is on from one town to another, causing terror and those things. We saw what happened at City FM. So abaya bino abaya wo ubetimi akọ moano de na akọ your friends CID headquarters no. And I said National Security Headquarters, no. Yeah, the gang of police officers in 2 vans, and you're storming City FM like in a Rambo style. And you no. We saw what happened in Sankregba. A church said police in it. I did policing. Me when I was at the university, I had a benefit of reviewing a manual. But because of NDA, some of these things you can't go into details. When it comes to some of these things, we don't sit here and we just talk like that. At least. We've seen a lot of things. We say a chance and a revival. I take certain key decisions. Training modalities, near police in at least there are people who see that there is value in the individuals. They consult and they do a whole lot of things. And they know whatever that you say, they take it serious. What I say. But in our own country, look at what we are doing. Always the old man was yes, soldier for police for na ya furu homa na ebinom unu we tarene na sefo no ene macho ya the security ene ya the macho ya security ene we are in the era ya first terrorism, bioterrorism and a whole lot of stuff it requires intelligence to do it. Okoya macho I may say obiti baby drone or ya de bekum because I macho dem fam ko baby it is about being smart and intelligent person. You know how to do your stuff na sefo no. So I think police they are just demonstrating to us there are good officers like I say. Because I know a lot of young guys in the police who are risking their life all day serving their country and so forth. Sure. But imagine say I don't hear because you could come back to affect the police officers. Look at the young guy, police officer who free school about not James already serving the country. Or the billion vanachi, the young police in Koboni to Okuno. So it is not about civilians and police for Nanka at some point may become a casualty. Look at the way they handle that particular issue. Yes, police officers were involved. Yachi or mono. The same damn para police did Yomonima Homache. Everyone but see that particular issue has been covered. Nobody is talking about it. What kind of sick country is this? So that Ghana is serious country and Kabaina Kadamparia force no come and resign to baby. Because the circumstances are far so you're the police officer or your key witness or betting I'm investigating this particular matter. Baby say and they gave us some foolish justifications. There was a shootout and why no one a shootout. Now I didn't think a young cool be an sample. You see, what country is this? Are we mad or what? Because things are sometimes we accept and we move on. We can never progress. Because how can police officer kwasi for you or write such silly statements and I am there was a shootout and all of us just accept that particular thing and it goes. The same thing has been repeated on Kranza. I have branch on them 2 a.m. You didn't call, no, I said, Nico, your friend is saying, so. No, you didn't call, say, I said, Nico, your friend is saying, no, you almost want to call crime scenes or Kobwa to or Cochrebia and Roberts and they could to Okuno and that particular. What kind of nonsense is this? The same thing happened, your friend is saying, secondly, the police officer, I say, last year, December, Christmas, and all in the car, I could book police barrier. And now, Yachin and the Koto police, I saw the car number police officer. And actually, well, yes, police for the agents in a share no one come for. Now, yet, Yachi Bishop police way, young one who in a man and car, me and Kramis and me, your own young man a car or pants, mebois. And I had no question. I say police for the agents and a share no one come for. The case is in court. The pathologist went there last year, last month, and he told the court no. After all his examination, guy no, and yet when you cool, your friend is saying. Suicide no kuno, but he suffered a violent death. So what one pathologist we are pathology that's a nipanu a violent death a marking on various organs and so forth. So there will be enough signature to prove to you that no, this person suffered a violent death, a heart attack, you're this thing. So you can't lie. The pathologist is telling them no, the guy suffered a violent death. Now Nipa had not to police cells or suffer violent death. No, you see, these are things that we need to. Okay, YouTube,
Active TV GH, Active TV GH. Pacho bobodia bora ho mame na subscribe mame, subscribe mame pa me show pa subscribe mame. Wo subscribe mame so a kai say adoma kitobi won chain. Click it so, click it so a ma options be breathe. All personalized and a none. Pacho for all mame. offer all mamia. Anytime be call live on YouTube, una be di kan inya. Ya the video so to ha, una be di kan inya answer na obia enya. Koswa fa messages so bra 0503-236-735 0503-236-735 na yen come patch bora YouTube ba misisi YouTube. The channel name is Active TV GH. Active TV GH. It's bora ho mame na subscribe to the channel no mame.
And west. It keep getting worse. It's, from the look of things, Osha be and I'll just say. I think that is why I'm completely trying some of this free country. It's, to me, dear, a bayanka, among MPP NDC, Nanka, Yembra back together as a country. Not decided say leadership process now. NDC MPP and Koye in the Baku near who Nibako was a fire.
But yeah, say, the course, hello, countrymen. You are a good host in one of the best media networks. Your panelists should just tell us just a single
coming anywhere to come and
subscribe to your page, a Active TV GH channel, Active TV GH on YouTube. Pacho subscribe to page. What subscribe you share link in the mami no why now obia so enyebi. Obi also need to subscribe to YouTube. Pacho more dia say YouTube must subscribe. My na make I will say Active Media and Active Brain Consultancy Services. And the training one was to be